With the recent release of Disney's live-action Little Mermaid, I thought, let's delve into the original 1989 film. Many know this as the film that started off the Disney Renaissance that gave us beloved classics like Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and Tarzan. But did you know that The Little Mermaid actually saved Disney animation? And without its release, we very well could have seen the end of Disney animation as a whole. When the film was first pitched to Disney, it was actually turned down in favor of a sequel to their live-action film Splash, starring Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah. However, the very next day, it was then greenlit by Disney chairman Jeffrey Katzenberg.
They wrote a stunning screenplay. I mean, just to this day, I remember it as being one of the best of anything I've ever had.
This would be Disney's first fairy tale in over 30 years, since 1959's Sleeping Beauty. Since Walt's passing, Disney had entered its self-titled Dark Ages from 1970 all the way to 1988, right up until the release of The Little Mermaid in 1989. This era did have its mid to moderate successes though, with films like Fox and the Hound, Oliver and Company, and The Great Mouse Detective. However, audiences felt that Disney had lost its touch, and films like The Black Cauldron didn't help either, again almost bankrupting the studio. And in fact, this would actually see Disney not wanting to pursue animation in the future, with them only finishing The Great Mouse Detective because it was deemed too far along in production to abandon at that time. Disney's love for animated fairy tales would not be reignited until 1989's The Little Mermaid. However, it wasn't smooth sailing for the picture, as Ariel's title song Part of Your World was almost cut from the film after it was screen tested for audiences after it was deemed too boring.
A child dropped their popcorn box, or the container of popcorn, and became restless with needing to clean that up. And Jeffrey took that as a sign.
Jeffrey, just because of some hyperactive kid sitting in front of you, you can't take it. Glenn, look, I understand you of all people are going to feel this the most, but it's not just because of that little kid there. It's boring. It's like...
So fortunately, Glenn, through his petitioning Jeffrey Katzenberg, got enough of a reprieve from the governor, a stay of execution, such that we could preview it with the song, and we at least got to animate the song.
Up where they walk, up where they run.
I think it was probably out of the movie for about a minute or two, and you know, back in, and can't imagine the movie without it, can you?
Jodie Benson was cast as the talking and singing voice of Princess Ariel.
When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore that shore above?
I never get tired of singing the song. And the reason why I don't get tired of singing the song is because it is a great story.
Meanwhile, Disney initially wanted Golden Girls star B. Arthur to voice the sea witch Ursula. However, Arthur's agent passed on the project and the role eventually went to Pat Carroll.
Come in, my child. We mustn't lurk in doorways. It's rude.
Which we should include up here, which is...
I had wanted all my life to work in a Disney film. And many people call her an octopus, and I'm so knowledgeable, I have to correct them and say, no, she is not an octopus, she is a squid. And they go, oh, well, what does that mean? She has 6 tentacles instead of 8, which makes it less expensive to draw.
In fact, the controversy wouldn't end there, as Ariel's iconic red hair would be the subject of much debate at the studio.
The choice for red hair was definitely a very conscious, deliberate choice. For me, what I remember was simply the fact that we had just come out with a mermaid picture in Splash, and you had a blonde Daryl Hannah. So right away it was just like, well, we got to do something different.
I remember a major argument over Ariel's hair. People would walk into the room with totally different images in their heads. Jeffrey thought he was going to see Daryl Hannah, maybe.
You know, he's like, guys, everybody knows mermaids are blonde, okay? And we're like, do they know that? Do we know that?
Even with all its struggles, Little Mermaid swam its way to the box office in 1989, where it opened to tremendous success. The film also went on to win 2 Academy Awards, winning Best Song for Under the Sea and Best Score. The Little Mermaid went on to launch a second golden age for the studio. Disney was back and, quite frankly, better than ever. And even now, over 30 years later, The Little Mermaid is still making waves on the big screen, now in live-action form, portrayed by actress and singer Halle Bailey, to give a whole new generation their Little Mermaid. And to think, this all came to be because a Little Mermaid wanted to be part of our world.